What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the DS Asylum. I'm your Warden Dimitri Shrine, and today, finally, after so long, it's been a while since the last Zenkai concept, but I've been racking my brain on this one. This is probably the most time that I've actually put into any of the Zenkai concepts so far. We're here with the blue support Krillin. Actually, surprisingly, a lot of people want this guy Zenkai. I don't know. It's kind of surprising considering how people have always said they'll never release Krillin on a step up because no one would summon for him. You know, like people have always dogged Krillin and that no one would ever summon for a Krillin, but a surprising number of people want this guy Zenkai, and I'm definitely one of them because I want the Super Warriors team to exist. So if you don't know how this works, first off, we take a look at the Zenkai 1 stats, then the Zenkai arts cards, then the Zenkai 1 abilities, that being the main ability and the first two uniques, then the Zenkai 3 and 6 abilities, uniques number 3 and 4, then the Zenkai 7 stats. We go over what their Zenkai ability is, and a new equipment designed specifically for them or their team. All stats will be looked at 14 stars so we can see the absolute maximum of their potential. And without further ado, let's jump into the blue Sparking Krillin 14 stars Zenkai 1 800% stats. We got 2.5 million health, 229,000 strike attack, 245,000 blast attack, 158,000 strike defense, 158,000 blast defense, 4.4k on the critical, and 2.4k on the Q restore speed. So his stats don't actually go up at all. And that's mainly because he's a support type. Just like with the blue pan concept, the stats aren't going to increase that drastically compared to other Zenkais because support types aren't meant to be hitting hard. They're not meant to have broken stats. Their stats are supposed to be lower because it's their abilities where they shine. Speaking of which, let's just hop right on over to the Zenkai arts cards. I just kicked a bottle over. Luckily, it's closed. We don't need to linger on those stats. We'll talk about the stats a bit later on. So the Zenkai arts cards, the strike and blast remain normal. Special skill, inflicts flash on enemy, randomly destroys 2 enemy cards, inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade, plus 30% the blast damage received for 20 timer counts. So I actually forgot what it originally did. I know it, flashes because it's the damn solar flare, but I actually forgot what it initially did because I actually did the Zenkai arts cards 3 days ago. That's when I made the Zenkai arts card, so I don't remember what exactly his green card did before, but I figured with the solar flare, it should probably affect the entire team. I mean, I don't know. I just felt like it should. And that's actually going to be a running theme with these arts cards. So if we take a look at the super, deals major impact damage plus 30% to ally critical rate for 20 timer counts upon activation. And a percentage of the damage will be taken by allies on standby. So that's the same ability that ultimates held by those like the Green Golden Frieza and Omega Shenron have. The reason why I gave that to him is because, first of all, his super is the Scatter Kamehameha. In the show, the Scatter Kamehameha didn't hit one goddamn person. He literally took out, 5, 6 Cybermen with that thing? It hits multiple people, so it makes sense for the entire team to take damage from it. That's why I didn't give it massive impact, because you guys know I like to give Zenkai units who don't have ultimates massive impact on their supers. He remains at major impact because he is hurting the entire team. And the other reason why I decided to do it was because his super attack is a close range super. So you cannot realistically use it in neutral from long range because unless they vanish it, if they vanish it, they'll get hit by it. But if they don't vanish it, you just kind of stand there looking like an idiot and they punish you. So to get around that, if you do manage to hit it, it's definitely worth it. So taking a look now at the Zenkai 1 abilities, the main ability, we've got Restore Own Health by 10% and Ki by 60, restores Ally Health by 25% and cancels attribute downgrades in abnormal conditions, inflicts all enemies with attribute downgrade minus 100% to Ki recovery for 5 timer counts, and gains 1 Dragon Ball. That is a goddamn mouthful. Out of breath. But yes, so he's recovering 35% of his own health, 25% of his allies, restoring Ki by 60, canceling the attribute downgrades in abnormal conditions. The minus 100 to Ki recovery and the health restoration were already there, so I didn't change that. I just made the main ability as a whole better. And I gave him the ability to gain a Dragon Ball, and you'll see why. This Krillin believe it or not, you're not going to rush with him. I'm just going to say that right now. There's a reason, there's actually a specific reason why he gains a Dragon Ball with his main ability. So moving on to the first unique, plus 35% to ally tag Super Warrior health restoration and key recovery when tag Super Warrior other than this character is a battle member. Buff also applies if character Goku is a battle member. So before, I think it was just health restoration if Goku was a battle member, which is dumb because for some god-awful reason, there is not a single Goku in the game that has a Super Warriors tag. So you actually can't even realistically run them together in PvP. But I figured I'd keep the Goku aspect there in the event you wanted to run them together in PvE or something. Maybe you wanted to do a fun little team. I don't know. I mean, I guess with this guy getting Zenkai, you could probably run a blue-purple team of the Extreme Namek Saga Krillin, Zenkai Namek Goku, and then this guy. So it keeps that the same, although only Krillin would be getting those buffs. Goku would not, but, you know. It's fine. I figured I would give him a broader ability than just Goku. Basically what I'm trying to say here. Looking at the second unique, I pretty much changed it entirely. The following effects occur when this character is switched to standby, plus 20% to damage inflicted, plus 40% to critical rate, and plus 60% to critical damage for 20 timer counts, and restores ki by 30. Obviously, he gives that to his allies. He's not giving it to himself. I forgot to type that. But yes, I went with the Bardock and Cooler route for him. He's like again, he's basically the Super Saiyan Bardock and Blue Cooler of the Super Warriors team. And I figured that would help him out a lot because a lot of support types want to do certain things. But the crazy part is, out of all the units that actually have that ability, none of them are a support. Yes, Whis has that, but only for Beerus. He doesn't do that for the entire tag. He only does the critical buffs for Beerus. So out of the 2 units that just do that for anyone, neither of them are support types, and I found that weird. So Krillin's going to be the first support type to actually have one of the best supports in the game. But that's pretty much all I have to say about that one. Standard Bardock and Cooler stuff there, but it fits the build. Moving on to Zenkai 3 and 6 abilities, unique number 3, the following effects occur per Dragon Ball held when this character enters the battlefield. This is why it's important that he draws a Dragon Ball with his main ability. Reduce damage by 5%, restore ki by 10, and 10% to critical rate. Effects reset when switched out. So these will stack depending on how many Dragon Balls you have. Which is why I said he's a unit that's actually going to encourage you not to use your Rising Rush until after he already goes down. Because he's just a better unit when he's got more Dragon Balls. Kind of the same way that Omega Shenron works with his ultimate. You pretty much just don't want to use your Rush until after you've used his ultimate, because his ultimate is stronger when you have full Dragon Balls. Krillin is just basically stronger. Well, not stronger, he's tankier, right? He'll restore his ki literally by 70. If you have full Dragon Balls, he will restore his ki by 70 when he enters the battlefield. That is an ability that you cannot just throw away after like 10 counts into a match. If you manage to get a Rising Rush. That is something you want. He'd be getting 70% to his critical rate. You're almost guaranteed to crit with him. And then he's reducing his damage by 5% each time. I graduated high school, but apparently I can't do 5 times 7 off the top of my head. So there's that. But seriously, this ability is to also 35? Yes, 35% to reduce damage. Just for switching in, just for entering the battlefield. And those abilities themselves don't stack, so it will reset when he exits the battlefield, so that you're not walking around with like 400% your goddamn critical rate. You just pair him up with Vados, constantly reduce sub count. You just enter the battlefield with like 700% to your critical rate. Like, that'd be ridiculous. So obviously I had to make it so that the effects reset when he switched out. But yes, you don't want to rush with him, at least not immediately. But moving on to his 4th unique, it's actually like 3 abilities in one. So part 1 of his 4th unique is the following effects occur when this character enters the battlefield. Randomly draw a strike or blast arts next, and +1 to arts card draw speed for 15 timer counts. So let's just say you have full set of Dragon Balls. You're going to be gaining 70 ki, have arts card draw speed, and you're going to gain a card. Whether it be strike or blast is completely random, but you will be drawing a card. Tell me that's not busted. Part 2 of his 4th unique restores health by 25% once it reaches 0. Obviously activates 1 time. Yes, I gave him endurance. Why did I give him endurance? Because I haven't given a Zenkai unit endurance yet, and Krillin seems to love coming back from the dead. So, we gave him endurance, because why not? And then part 3 restores ally health by 20% and 30% to ally damage cannot be canceled, and destroy 3 enemy Dragon Balls when this character is defeated. So, he's got endurance, and he's got death buffs. So not only do you have to kill him twice, but if you do kill him twice, he buffs up the rest of the team. And keep in mind, he's getting a pretty substantial health restoration buff with that first unique ability. So you activate his endurance, he pops his main ability, he's just gonna heal. He's just gonna heal like 50% of his damn health. And it's kind of ridiculous. This guy is definitely broken. Like, he's definitely broken. I've always said I have no problem making Zenkai units uber busted, but there is a limit. Like, I will never make a unit as good as LF Gohan. It's just not gonna happen. I can make units as good as Android 18, but that's kind of like the upper limit. Like, I wouldn't make anything that's better than Android 18. But moving on to the 14-star Zenkai 7, 1400% stats. We got 2.8 million health, 268,000 strike attack, 259,000 blast attack. And yes, you will notice that his strike attack actually got higher than his blast attack. Don't ask me why that's the way it is. That's just how I decided to do it. I don't know. If I'm being honest with you, I couldn't tell you. It was just interesting, I guess. It's I almost said 272k on both defenses. Oh, could you imagine? 172,000 on both defenses, 4.8 critical and 2.8 on the Ki restore speed. So, aside from his strike and blast essentially switching for some weird reason, I think I meant to do that in the opposite direction. I think it was supposed to be 268,000 blast and 259,000 strike. But we're going to roll with it, all right? Again, his stats don't increase dramatically. His stats are definitely lower than most Zenkais. But again, he's a support type. He's not meant to have broken stats. That's just the way it is, truthfully. Now, we're going to take a look at the new equipment real quick. 10% to health restoration, so yep. He's going to be healing a lot. 20% to special move damage, and then plus 7% to blast attack per tag Super Warrior, or plus 7% to strike attack per tag Super Warrior. Note that is not base strike or blast attack. That is just strike or blast attack. That's just the pure damage. And it's for the Super Warriors tag, because Super Warriors don't have that many equips. In fact, they only have 2. So I figured I would give them a 3rd equip. Because yes, the EX Super Warriors have access to that busted, EX equipment, but Krillin doesn't have access to that, so he kind of needs a 3rd equip. So that's what that is, and his level 7 Zenkai ability is the entire Super Warriors tag, and it's built the same way the Legends Road Zenkais are, which is 25% to both attacks, 20% to both defenses. And the reason why I had him boost the entire Super Warriors tag is because that tag doesn't exist. It's one of the smallest tags in the game. There's no reason for me to give him Blue Super Warrior. He's literally only buffing 2 units with that. Himself and Kamikolo. So I might as well just give him the entire Super Warrior ability, just at a lower percentage, the same way that the Legends Road units do it. So that is my very weird Blue Krillin Zenkai concept. I was kind of all over the place. As you guys know, I don't script these videos. I type up the kits and then, that's it. We just record and whatever flies out my mouth, flies out my mouth. So I'm kind of all over the place. Maybe I should script them, but there was a time where I scripted videos and I hated it. I absolutely hated it. Sure, my videos were probably better, but I'm not a big fan of it, truth be told. So hope you guys enjoyed the blue Krillin Zenkai. What would you guys do differently? If you did enjoy it, do make sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that join button if you can, really helps the channel out. Social media is in the description below. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Blue Krillin. Everyone kind of wants some Zenkai. Probably should have been him over Namek Goku, if I'm being honest with you. In fact, it 100% should have been him over Namek Goku. Don't know why they decided to do that. But I will see all of you inmates back here at the asylum for the next video. Peace.